power of consistency, the invisible force behind extraordinary success. Consistency is one of the most powerful forces in human life. It is silent, gradual, and often unnoticed, but its impact is massive. While people chase shortcuts, quick success, and instant results, consistency works quietly in the background, shaping habits, building character, and creating long-term success. Consistency is not about doing something great once. It is about doing small things repeatedly with dedication and patience. It is the bridge between goals and achievement, between dreams and reality. Understanding consistency. Consistency means showing up every day with commitment, regardless of mood, circumstances, or motivation. It is the ability to stick to a plan, follow a routine, and continue working even when results are not visible. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, has fundamentally reshaped how we understand consistency. According to him, consistency is not about willpower, motivation, or dramatic changes. It is about small, repeated actions that compound over time. His work emphasizes that the true driver of success is not the intensity of effort, but the regularity of it. One of his most powerful concepts is the idea of marginal gains, often summarized as the 1% improvement rule. Clear argues that if a person improves by just 1% each day, the cumulative effect over time becomes extraordinary. Mathematically, this compounds into exponential growth. What appears insignificant in the short term becomes transformative in the long term. This is the essence of consistency. It is slow, almost invisible, but incredibly powerful. Ultimately, James Clear's philosophy shows that consistency is not about heroic effort. It is about designing a life where good actions are repeated effortlessly. It is about systems, identity, and environment working together to produce sustained progress. Cal Newport, the author of Deep Work, approaches consistency from the perspective of focus and concentration. He argues that in a world filled with distractions, the ability to work consistently and deeply is becoming increasingly rare and valuable. According to Newport, consistency is not just about working regularly, it is about working with focus. A person who works consistently but without focus will achieve limited results. However, a person who combines consistency with deep work can achieve extraordinary outcomes. Cal Newport shows that consistency alone is not enough. It must be combined with focus and depth. Consistent, focused effort is what leads to mastery and high-level achievement. Many people confuse consistency with intensity. They believe working very hard for a short period is enough. But true success does not come from bursts of effort. It comes from sustained action over time. Consistency is not about perfection. It is about persistence. The importance of consistency in life. Consistency plays a vital role in every area of life. Whether it is personal growth, education, career, relationships, or health, consistency determines the level of success you achieve. Achieving goals. Goals are not achieved in a single day. They require daily effort and commitment. Consistency ensures that you take small steps every day, leading to big results over time. Building habits. Your life is shaped by your habits. Consistency helps you build positive habits and eliminate negative ones. Creating discipline. Consistency and discipline go hand in hand. The more consistent you are, the more disciplined you become. Improving skills. Skills improve through practice, and practice requires consistency. Whether it is speaking, writing, drawing, or any other skill, consistent effort leads to mastery. Long-term success. Success is not about what you do occasionally. It is about what you do consistently. Consistency versus motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. Some days you feel inspired, and other days you feel tired or distracted. Consistency, however, does not depend on feelings. It is a habit, a system, a commitment. A motivated person may start strong, but a consistent person finishes strong. For example, someone who goes to the gym only when motivated may quit after a few days, but someone who goes daily, regardless of mood, will eventually achieve results. Consistency is stronger than motivation because it creates stability. The power of small actions. One of the most important truths about consistency is that small actions matter. B.J. Fogg, a behavioral scientist and author of Tiny Habits, offers a unique perspective on consistency. He argues that the biggest mistake people make is trying to change too much too quickly. Instead, he advocates for starting extremely small and building consistency gradually. Reading 10 pages daily equals 3,650 pages in a year. Practicing 1 hour daily equals 365 hours of improvement. Saving a small amount regularly equals financial growth. These small actions may seem insignificant, but over time, they create powerful results. Consistency turns small efforts into big achievements. Consistency builds confidence. When you stay consistent, you begin to trust yourself. Every time you complete a task, follow your routine, or keep your promise, your confidence grows. Confidence is not built by thinking. It is built by doing. Consistency proves to you that you are capable, reliable, and strong. Challenges in staying consistent. Consistency is not easy. It is often romanticized as a simple act of showing up every day. But in reality, it is a continuous battle against internal resistance and external distractions. The path of consistency is not filled with excitement every day. Instead, it demands patience, discipline, and mental strength. There are several obstacles that can break your rhythm and pull you away from your goals if not understood and managed properly. Procrastination. Procrastination is one of the most common enemies of consistency. It is the habit of delaying important tasks, often replacing them with easier or more comfortable activities. At first, procrastination feels harmless, just a small delay. But over time, it becomes a pattern that disrupts progress. The real danger of procrastination is not just the delay, but the loss of momentum. When you postpone tasks repeatedly, you weaken your ability to stay consistent. Each delay makes the next delay easier, eventually turning inconsistency into a habit. Consistency requires immediate action, even when the task feels difficult. The moment you learn to act despite resistance, you begin to break the cycle of procrastination. Lack of immediate results. One of the biggest reasons people struggle with consistency is the absence of quick results. In today's fast-paced world, people are conditioned to expect instant rewards. However, consistency works slowly and silently. When you put in effort day after day without visible results, it can feel discouraging. You may begin to question whether your efforts are worth it. This doubt often leads to quitting. The truth is that consistency operates like a seed growing beneath the soil. For a long time, there may be no visible change, but beneath the surface, progress is happening. Those who understand this continue working patiently, while others give up too soon. Distractions. Modern life is filled with distractions that constantly compete for your attention. Social media, entertainment, notifications, and unnecessary activities can easily interrupt your focus. Distractions are dangerous because they break your flow. Even a few minutes of distraction can reduce productivity and make it difficult to return to the task with the same level of focus. Consistency requires protecting your time and attention. It demands conscious effort to eliminate or minimize distractions and create an environment that supports focused work. Boredom. Consistency often involves repetition, and repetition can lead to boredom. Doing the same task every day, even if it is important, can feel monotonous. Many people mistake boredom as a sign that they should stop or change direction. However, boredom is a natural part of the process. It is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that you are on a consistent path. The ability to continue despite boredom is what separates successful individuals from others. Mastery is built not through excitement, but through disciplined repetition. Lack of discipline. Without discipline, consistency becomes nearly impossible. Discipline is the ability to act regardless of how you feel. It is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. Many people rely on motivation to stay consistent, but motivation is temporary. It fluctuates based on mood, environment, and circumstances. Discipline, on the other hand, is stable and reliable. When discipline is weak, it becomes easy to skip tasks, break routines, and lose focus. But when discipline is strong, consistency becomes a natural outcome. When you learn to manage procrastination, accept slow results, eliminate distractions, embrace boredom, and build discipline, you unlock the true power of consistency. How to build consistency. Building consistency is not about making drastic changes overnight. It is about creating a sustainable system that allows you to take steady, meaningful action every day. Consistency is developed through intentional habits, clear direction, and a disciplined mindset. The following principles provide a strong foundation for building lasting consistency in life. Start small. Every journey begins with a single step, and consistency is no different. One of the biggest mistakes people make is starting too big. They set unrealistic expectations, take on too much at once, and quickly become overwhelmed. Starting small removes resistance. When a task is simple and manageable, it becomes easier to begin and easier to repeat. A small action done daily is far more powerful than a large action done occasionally. For example, reading one page every day may seem insignificant, but over time, it builds a strong habit of learning. Similarly, practicing a skill for just a few minutes daily creates a foundation that can grow into mastery. Consistency is not built on intensity. It is built on repetition. Starting small ensures that you can maintain that repetition without burnout. Set clear goals. Clarity is essential for consistency. Without a clear goal, your efforts become scattered and directionless. You may stay busy, but you will not move forward. Clear goals provide purpose. They answer the question, why am I doing this? When your goal is specific and meaningful, it becomes easier to stay committed. Instead of vague intentions like, I want to improve, define your goal precisely. I want to practice speaking for 20 minutes daily. This clarity transforms your actions into a focused effort. Goals act as a guiding light. They keep you aligned, motivated, and consistent, even when challenges arise. Create a routine. Consistency thrives on routine. A routine eliminates the need for constant decision-making and turns actions into automatic behaviors. When you have a fixed time and structure for your tasks, you reduce the chances of skipping them. For example, if you decide to study every day at a specific time, it becomes part of your daily rhythm. A well-designed routine creates stability. It reduces confusion, increases efficiency, and strengthens discipline. Over time, routines transform effort into habit. What once required willpower becomes natural and effortless. Track progress. Progress is a powerful motivator. When you track your actions, you create awareness and accountability. Monitoring your daily efforts helps you understand whether you are staying consistent or not. It allows you to see improvement, identify gaps, and make necessary adjustments. Even small progress, when tracked, becomes visible and encouraging. It reminds you that your efforts are not wasted. Tracking also builds a sense of responsibility. When you know you are measuring your actions, you are more likely to stay committed. Avoid distractions. Distractions are one of the biggest threats to consistency. In a world filled with constant notifications, entertainment, and interruptions, maintaining focus has become increasingly difficult. Every distraction breaks your flow and reduces the quality of your work. It pulls you away from your goals and weakens your consistency. To build consistency, you must protect your time and attention. Identify what distracts you and take steps to minimize it. This may include limiting social media, creating a quiet workspace, or setting boundaries with your environment. Focus is not just about working. It is about working without interruption. Stay committed. Consistency requires commitment. There will be days when you feel tired, unmotivated, or discouraged. These are the moments that truly test your consistency. Commitment means continuing despite discomfort. It means showing up even when you do not feel like it. Many people quit when things become difficult, but those who stay committed move forward. They understand that progress is not always easy, but it is always worth it. Consistency is not about how you feel. It is about what you do. Be patient. Patience is the foundation of consistency. Results do not appear immediately, and this is where many people lose hope. Consistency works slowly. It builds over time, often without visible signs in the beginning. This can be frustrating, but it is part of the process. Patience allows you to trust the journey. It helps you continue working, even when results are delayed. Think of consistency as planting a seed. You water it every day, even when you cannot see growth. Eventually, it grows into something strong and lasting. The role of consistency in daily life. Consistency is reflected in your daily actions. Waking up at the same time, completing tasks regularly, practicing skills daily, following healthy habits. These actions may seem small, but they shape your future. Consistency is not about doing something once. It is about doing it every day. Consistency and success. Success is not a one-time event. It is a process. Consistent effort leads to gradual improvement, and gradual improvement leads to success. Many people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack consistency. A consistent person will always outperform an inconsistent, talented person. Consistency in relationships. Consistency is important in relationships as well. Being present, communicating regularly, keeping promises, showing respect, builds trust and strengthens relationships. Consistency in difficult times. True consistency is tested during difficult times. It is easy to stay consistent when everything is going well, but when challenges arise, consistency becomes your strength. It helps you stay focused, maintain progress, and overcome obstacles. Consistency versus perfection. Many people stop because they want everything to be perfect. But consistency is more important than perfection. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be regular. Even imperfect actions, when repeated consistently, lead to success. Building a consistent mindset. Consistency starts in the mind. Stay focused on your goals. Avoid negative thinking. Develop patience. Believe in the process. A strong mindset supports consistent action. Long-term benefits of consistency. The rewards of consistency are long-lasting. Personal growth, skill development, financial stability, strong habits, confidence, and discipline. Consistency creates a stable and successful life. Real-life example of consistency. Consider a person who wants to improve communication skills. If they practice speaking daily, learn new words, and engage in conversations consistently, they will improve over time. But if they practice only occasionally, progress will be slow or non-existent. Consistency makes the difference. The habit of consistency. Consistency becomes easier when it turns into a habit. Once you make something a habit, it requires less effort. For example, daily reading becomes natural. Daily exercise becomes routine. Daily work becomes automatic. Habits reduce the need for motivation. Consistency and self-respect. Consistency builds self-respect. When you keep your promises to yourself, you feel proud and confident. When you break your promises repeatedly, you lose trust in yourself. Consistency strengthens your identity. The journey of consistency. The journey of consistency is long and challenging. There will be ups and downs, failures and successes, progress and setbacks. But what matters is that you keep going. Consistency is not about never falling. It is about always getting back up. Conclusion. Consistency is the secret behind every great achievement. It is not visible, but it is powerful. It does not give instant results, but it creates lasting success. In a world that seeks quick rewards, consistency teaches patience, discipline, and commitment. It is the habit that transforms ordinary efforts into extraordinary results. Start small, stay committed, be patient. Because in the end, consistency is not just about reaching your goals. It is about becoming the person who never gives up. Consistency is not a single action. It is a system, a habit, a mindset, and a long-term commitment. It is the quiet force that transforms effort into excellence and dreams into reality.